Human Life Uganda is to find ways that our brothers and sisters in Uganda can raise money to support this work, because it's not really a healthy situation to be dependent upon donations from outside of the country. And there are many possibilities that we're exploring so that our Catholic community over there can actually develop some income-producing projects to help to fund our efforts over there. Because it's great if every bishop in the country said, I want you to train all the priests, all the religious, all the lay leaders and seminarians. That's wonderful, but to do that is going to cost quite a bit of money. And it's not realistic or healthy to think that all of that's somehow going to be poured in from outside. So I'd really appreciate it if you could think and pray about this, and if you have any ideas that come to you, please share them with us, or if you're interested in working with us on this, we need as many friends and as much help as we can get. Just to give you an example of something that we've been talking about, there are many traditional Catholic families that have been using essential oils in their kind of home medicine kit. Now, this is not something that is not without its pitfalls, because I was talking to Father Ripperger, and he verified that there are companies that produce these essential oils and put spells on them and things of that kind. It's extremely dangerous. But he confirmed that as long as these essential oils are just essential oils and they're produced by a company that doesn't have any occult connection, there's absolutely nothing wrong with using them. Well, families that do use them know that, and I'm not an expert in this by any stretch, but I know some very good Catholics who are very knowledgeable about them. It's extremely expensive to purchase these oils. And I don't know this because I'm looking into it with the help of people who are much more knowledgeable than I am. But I have a very strong intuition that it would be possible to produce these essential oils in Uganda and sell them for much less than what people in Europe or North America are paying for them, and thereby provide a valuable service at a much lower cost than what it's generally commanding in this part of the world, but then use the profits to support these seminars throughout the country. This is the kind of thing that we need to do. So we've taken one very small step. I couldn't even call it a baby step in this direction, because we have a family that runs a very good tailoring operation in Kampala, and one of the things that we've done is to advertise that if anybody would like to get a high quality men's suit, they could get it through this family, and some of the money will go to support our work with Human Life Uganda. So if that's something you would be interested in, you could pursue that. But the one other thing that relates to my introduction is that there are wonderful choirs in all the churches throughout the country, and Brother Dennis Ajaru is very involved with the choirs in the Sorority Diocese, and he made a recording of some of their music. He's going to play you just one song, I think, from the recording. And if anybody, 2 songs, if anybody is interested in purchasing a CD of this music to support this work, we will be able to make CDs, and for as many people that are as interested, we have a sign-up sheet over here. Anybody that would like to order one or more, you could just give your information and indicate the quantity over there. So I'm going to ask Dennis to come up and just very briefly tell you a little bit more about this, and then play the music for you. Then we'll introduce the next speaker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dennis. I come from Uganda in Soroti Catholic Diocese. And very briefly, we have recorded 2 choirs. One from Our Lady of Assumption Parish, which is one of the parishes in Kiere, and then St. Anne Parish. That parish is the one that hosted our Diocesan Annual Youth Conference last year. And very briefly, allow me to go through this before I play. Daniel, please. Come on, help me with the technical bit. Daniel. I think I got it. Thank you. Annually, Soroti Catholic Diocese organizes its Diocesan Youth Annual Conference. And this idea came way back in 2008. Our first conference collected about 400 youth in the whole diocese. Subsequently, as time went, the numbers grew. As of the last 3 years, our numbers are about 10,000 people plus. It's good for us. We are proud for it because the young people are embracing faith. We'd like to help. We would like to thank so much Father Jonathan, Human Life International, and now the Kolbe Center for the enormous support that they have contributed towards this cause. The reality I want to let you know is that young people in Africa are very vulnerable because of what I shared with a few people: poverty, ignorance, and then what? Poverty, ignorance, and then what? Disease. So that's what makes people in Africa very, very vulnerable. Given a case in point whereby people who promote contraceptives, because of the gaps in the law, there is no gap, there's no law that directly stops people to use contraceptives. There's even no law that allows. So those people now use those chances. I'll give you an example whereby in one primary school, you know, a primary school, where children are from the age of 8 to 18 years. They come to the whole school, inject all the girls with contraceptives, and then they package that information very well. These medicines are very good. They give the girls pills, and there is nobody who comes to stop that. That's really very bad. Now, allow me briefly to share with you some pictures in Soroti Catholic Diocese. The age of the people who come to the conference is between the age of 12 and 35 years old. And we're trying to evangelize the young people. This is the flag of Uganda. It's almost like Germany, but the colors are the other way around. And then the other side picture is the young people. That is in the previous conference. Actually, all the pictures that I have here, I think of the previous conference. You can imagine the young people come from all walks of life, and then they come and sit down for 5 days. For 5 days, sharing, learning, and doing a lot of things. Young people also come to praise the existence of God. And trust me, I think I have some little clips. They're very short. If time allows, I will play them. But it's really very amazing, soul-moving. Last year, Owen joined us, and I think that's the way Mr. Owen came in, and I was leading him towards where I was going to sit. But trust me, if you join there, you'll be blessed. I think you know that gentleman. That is Father Gonzaga. Father Gonzaga is the chaplain of the youth in the whole diocese. Besides being the chaplain of the youth in the whole diocese, he's also the regional director of Human Life International. Regional Human Life Uganda. And then he also mentors the seminarians. He's a spiritual director in the seminary. So he's also in that respect. So the work he does is really very enormous. The reason I put this picture is that some of the challenges that we have is that when we go to conferences, I think Owen had a projector, had planned for a projector, and there was no power. Power went off. We were using a generator, so he had no option apart from carrying a laptop to show his presentation. Those are some of the challenges that we go through. And trust me, these were young people and then catechists. It was thrice this hall, and it was full and very packed. That is the team that was there last year with Father Jonathan, our country director. The reason I put this is when we went to this parish, Owen was given a ram. And you all know what a ram is. It was a gift for the team that went there. This picture, even the lame people come, even the blind people come, despite their disabilities. Faith is one. The reason I put this picture, this is one of the choirs that we've recorded their songs, and trust me, I have seen choirs, but I have not seen moving choirs like the ones we have in Uganda. And it is comprised of young people who are devoted to their Christian life, young people who are devoted to building their faith. And I would like to thank so much Colby Center, most especially Owen, for the support. In the apostolate, we also have topics that help to prepare young people towards marriage. This gentleman, that is his wife, and he should be wedding, I think, next month. On this picture, he should be wedding next month. From the time we started conferences, we've registered a total of about 56 couples of young people, and then we follow them to like a mentorship. I was sharing with somebody that we need to do much on family apostolate, and I think after dealing with the youth, my next move is on the family apostolate. I also have a small family. As we go, I will show you my wife, my kids. Now, why I put that's the picture of our Archbishop. And trust me, the way they receive the Archbishop, you can imagine the children, the young people put their clothes down where the Archbishops will step. The reason is they see a representation of Christ. They see a representation of Christ. The way young people see a priest, an ordained minister, is really very great because they know that is really Christ. But I would like to say something about this. Sometimes our heads, our priests, our bishops do not want to talk about certain things. You go to a bishop and tell him about evolution, his head will be under the what? Under the table. And trust me, if the bishop's head is under the table, even the priest will not talk about it. And if the priest does not talk about it, why will the catechist talk about it? Now trust me, if all the hierarchy is not talking about it, then we shall be having what? Problems. We are currently having issues with contraceptives, and our bishops are very low, their feet are cold, our priests, their legs are cold, and trust me, because there's a lot of money from the political leadership, and trust me, young people will be so much in danger. Our next clip, we also had friends from Germany. That's one of the ladies, and I'm trying to interest parents here to interest their children, if you can afford to interest your young people, to come and share with other young people from the other side, to come and share their faith. I think time is against me. Now, one thing I would like to show you is this picture. This picture, a parish that brings a big number of participants, pilgrims, that crucifix is what you win. If this parish brought today 1,700, like that parish brought 1,700 young people from their parish, so they won a crucifix. So right now there's a battle of mobilization in all parishes. We have 26 parishes, and that parish that brings the big number of, it's like a trophy kind of. But trust me, they will take that crucifix to their parish, and they will have, every time they are praying, they will pray and do a lot of mobilization with that crucifix. We also now train catechists, most especially on natural family planning methods, and then also on evolution. Those are catechists of one of the parishes in St. Benedict Parish, Busuk, in the Roman Catholic Diocese. Because we think that it is the catechists who stay with us parents and with families in the communities. So it's very important to empower the catechists so that they have the word, they have the confidence to speak to the young people. This is a group of catechists and their wives, like couples. They had a 4-day retreat, just like the one we're having here. They had a 4-day retreat, and it was really very amazing. Trust me, there's a picture here. This is a lady and her husband. Now, I think those people who promote contraceptives deceived this lady, and she secretly went to take those pills. Now, when she started taking the pills started giving her side effects. She started bleeding day in, day out. And the husband was saying that, I'm going to throw this castle.
Anybody there?
And she had to tell the husband that, please, my husband, I'm sorry, I did ABCD. And after that, now she's trying to cope up with the husband. Trust me, these contraceptives have broken a lot of families in Africa. I was sharing with someone yesterday that down here in the West, you have the best medical system. Trust me, it is something different from our side. So with all those side effects, with all those complications, where there are very few gynecologists, women are suffering. Women are dying. That's my wife, a very lovely wife. She's called Agnes. She gives me a lot of support. Sometimes I'm not home most of the time because I move a lot, but she gives me a lot of support. We have those are our kids. The elder one is called Regan. Second one, this other one is called Ryan, and the other one is called Roderick. My wife is the only female in our home. Pray for us. The work ahead is too much, but we know that with God's support, with God by our side, we shall make it. It's an open invitation. Please, parents who are here, trust me, we shall take good care of your children. If you are a caring parent and you have time in December, please come and join us. I also want to tell you this, that in December, Sorot Catholic Diocese is blessed. I know some of you know about Charismatic Renewal. Charismatic Renewal started in my diocese. In the whole world, it started in my diocese. It started in my parish. So this year we're celebrating 40 years of renewal. And therefore, there will be a retreat from the 3rd up to 8th. That will be an amazing retreat to attend. I extend my invitation to you. And then also, from the 11th to 16th will be the Youth Day celebration. So please, you're welcome. Now, therefore, briefly, if in case you'd like to come over from America, you can contact Mr. Owen, and then you can contact Mr. Jonathan Opio. You can also contact Father Jonathan Opio, you can contact him. So, Father, sorry for calling you Mr. But you can also contact Father Gonzaga, or you can please reach me. We'll give you all the information that you will need for you to be in Uganda. Some of you I know will be your first time in Uganda, but feel free. You'll be very safe and will be taken care of. Those are my contacts, my personal contacts. Very briefly, oh, sorry, I think I'll leave the slide of the contacts on. This is the choir, this is one of the songs that we have recorded. It is praising and glorifying the Uganda matters. This choir is from St. Anne, Usuk, St. Anne Catholic Parish, Usuk. Let's listen to it. This one is in English, other songs are in the local language. But that song is in memory of our Ugandan martyrs, and we ask them to always pray for us. This one is the Litany of Saints. Thank you very much. and be blessed.